record.
Hello, Shawnee Montgomery here, and I'm going to teach you today how to make this awesome Citrasolv paper, which you can use in mixed media pieces. Kids can collage with it. You can use in your own personal artwork. It's awesome paper. So, and you sometimes get some really pretty metallic-y, sheeny looks to it. I'll try and find one. And all these are all National Geographic, but this paper is gorgeous. This one, and I'll teach you some different techniques you can use. You can kind of see, so I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but it can look metallic-y. And then if you get a piece, like this is one of my favorite pieces I made. If you don't want to use this actual piece in your artwork, you can take a photograph of it. Here's another cool one that I think I'm going to take a photograph of because I just like the different colors on there. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to get started. So this is what you need. You need National Geographics. I think the older the better, but I understand if you don't want to do super old. You need Citrasolv. I buy Citrasolv on Amazon, and I do like the subscribe and save, so I can get like 3 little bottles of this for about $5 a piece, and I do it like every month or every other month. You can do this big bottle, which I got desperate one time and got a big bottle like this. And I think this was about $30 for 32 ounces. So I know I'm just an art teacher, but 8 ounces, 4 of these for like $22, or a big one for 30 something. So go for the little ones and it'll be great. Okay, you need a spray bottle, and this is just a leftover spray bottle from Body Spray. And it's a hard plastic and it works well. I bought some of these. These are really soft, mushy plastic. They don't work so great after a little bit. Also, I bought some black bottles you get for essential oil, and they work awesome too. But, you know, my life is what it is, and I have no idea where I set them. So we're just going to do it without that today because, just trust me, they really work. But here's a pro tip for you. Do not leave this Citrasolv sitting in your bottle. So you need Citrasolv. You'll need a metal tray. Don't use a plastic tray. The Citrasolv likes to eat stuff. It's awesome. Unless you like to get your hands all inky, maybe some gloves would be handy. I already said National Geographic, but some other magazines that you can try, or some old calendars. I got this one at our local state bank, Cheney State Bank. Thanks for donating. Just some Kansas magazines. I think I got these from the library. The library always has excess stuff. You might need some saran wrap for something else I might show you. And this is a flat canvas. You might need that for something else I could show you in a minute. Some maybe Mod Podge and a brush. And possibly some detergent. And you'll need some stencils. So you can use stencils that you use for mono printing. And it doesn't matter if they're all dirty because this Citrasolv stuff is magical and it helps you clean your stuff. So let us get started. I think I am going to actually put on gloves today. And I'm here with Shannon, my loyal assistant, and co-worker, thank God. And we are filming this and hopefully it works. But we are art teachers, not filmmakers. So keep that in mind. Okay. I don't know if I can get this off. Hang on, I gotta get X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to put some of this in my bottle, and I've kind of figured out it takes probably about 2 ounces of this stuff to do a magazine. And I've had my students do this before, and they do think it's super fun. So 2 ounces, this is I think a 3-ounce bottle. Oh no, this is a 2-ounce bottle. So this will do a pretty good fair amount. So here's my tin, here's my magazine I'm going to do. I sometimes go through and rip out any ads or sales ads. Ooh, this is going to be good because this is has a 3-fold set. And I do the cover or whatever. This whole thing will soon be falling apart anyway. So if I was doing this with kids, I would just give them a section, rip out all this stuff. You don't need that in there. The paper will absorb that. So I just lay this in my tray, and then I start going to town with my Citrasolv. Ooh, this had like a fold out thing. No, it didn't. Okay, I'm delusional. I usually start at the back, and if I don't totally rip it apart, I can just kind of use this like a book. And then I give it about 3 or 4 sprays on each one of them, probably a little bit on the back. This is going to be so awesome because this has this black paper on there, and I think that will do beautiful things. And I just spray away and keep going until I get through the whole stack. Oh, look, double page spread. That's going to be super awesome. So I put plenty on here. Just keep it in here. It's going to get kind of inky in here, which is fine. I'm going to spray some of this on the back. If you get pages like this and you don't really want the words, this is going to be magical because it's going to melt here. So the Citrasolv reacts with the ink on the page. That's why I have gloves on, because it gets to be a big inky mess, but you want it to be a big inky mess. That's what makes this magical and fabulously wonderful. Okay, so I'm just going to do that many for right now. And you can put saran wrap over them, or you can just slip them in. This is a trash sack that I just got from the janitors. It works great. I just push it in there, throw it down, and then let that sit for about 35-40 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. It's up to you. Okay, so oh, look at how metallic-y that one is, that piece that I already did. So nice. Okay, so in here I have some that I did earlier in the day, and I started, these are my Citizen State Bank calendars, so I don't know how these are going to work. But I totally saturated them. I put them in the bag. I just pulled them out of the bag. And I'm going to lay them down here on my paper. You're going to want something underneath because it does get super messy. And what I'm going to start by doing is taking a stencil and laying it on here. And this one might not work as great as the other one's probably going to work because this one's on the top and it's a little bit dry. And I take my rag and I just rub off. Oh, it's going to work. Some of the ink, and then you're going to get a paper that you can see has this awesome like texture. So I think this one will work even better. So I just go through my whole entire stack. At home I have like a little clothes rack, one of those ones that kind of folds out like an accordion, and I just hang them off of there. In my classroom sometimes I string up some string, sometimes we just lay them all over the tables, drape them all over, whatever. Oh yeah, that's awesome. This one was underneath and it was really kind of soaking in, so that's great. All right, here's the magic part, the National Geographic. And look, I'm just going to open this and you're going to see like some of these pages are just nice and inky. Oh, look how great that is right there without me doing very much. And ooh, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
I know, I like that. I'm not going to maybe do anything. Oh, that's pretty good too. I might smear up this page, but that side I'm not going to touch. I'm keeping it. So your magazine is just going to basically fall apart because the Citrasolv just eats the glue. It's also great for removing stuff. It's really made for cleaning stuff, but it's awesome. I'm just going to keep this page because I just like that. Oh, okay, I better get to doing what I was going to do. I get too distracted. That's pretty nice too. Oh, look at that though. Those are awesome. Okay, so I'm going to keep this page like it is, and I'm just going to set it over here aside. And I'm going to start doing something with these. So I just put the paper down, and I try and just do one page at a time. And I tend to do both the front and the back because you never know. Like you might look at something and you might need something else. So this has some writing. So I usually take my finger and smudge up the writing, and then I put stencils on it. And National Geographic gets super inky. Oops. It doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter that I just moved and shifted. Because here we go. Here's a nice little pattern. And then on the back side, this is just kind of cool like this, but I don't really want the words. So I think I'm just going to lay it down and mess up the words and maybe just put a little bit of stencil just down there, but I like the top part just how it is. So you just go at it. You go through your whole stack of paper. You set them aside as you go. You keep going. Sometimes you get magical papers that are just beautiful without ever touching them. Some of these today are, I think I chose wisely. Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at that. So those are going to make awesome mixed media collages, and I always like to have some of these papers on hand for like doing artist trading cards, or I do like a relief mixed media stuff. I tend to make animals, I think, mostly, but if I can't get this separated, which like I can't because I have these horrible gloves on that the school has provided, thank you, but they're horrible. Then I just do it, whatever I'm going to do to this, and I have an assortment of stencils, so I can get a bunch of different patterns. You could also do on these, I think you could do saran wrap and just leave the saran wrap. I know you can do saran wrap on some of them because I do another relief kind of thing with some saran wrap. So I can just move my stencil around and get some cool textures going, and then I'll have a nice papers to do a different artwork. And I can totally do the back side, or I can just mess up this and have it grays. And I just keep setting those aside. What else was I going to show you? I got this bubble wrap that I love, and I think I'm going to try and see if this bubble wrap will do anything to this. That's an experiment, a live action experiment. So it could be disastrous, could be awesome. Ooh, look at that, I just pulled that apart. I kind of like that. Maybe I'm not going to mess up that side. See, then you have to decide, what am I going to mess up, what am I not going to mess up? That one's even better. Oh. Okay. These are tough decisions today. This I think is a 1979 National Geographic, and it's working awesome today. Okay, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do this one. I'm just gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna lay it on here. And if I wasn't, I mean, I would maybe even let this totally dry on there, and I think I can, when I pull this off, I'll get, oh, I didn't even have to let it totally dry on there, and I got this awesome print. So you could try any kind of bubble wraps you have. Nice. I don't know where I got that bubble wrap, but I wish I could find more of it because it's awesome. So I just keep going and making papers in my inky mess, and pretty much once you start this, you're kind of committed for the day. You probably should get most of them done that day. Sometimes I go and I forget about them, and I come back like the next day and they're all kind of stuck together, but you can still pull them apart. You'll still get like inky effects. This stuff does evaporate, and you will just not be able to like probably wipe off the ink and get as many cool patterns, but you can totally do that. So if you wanted kids to do this and you had shortened classes or something, they could do that. I would actually probably just have the whole class make a bunch of these papers together, and then the papers would be kind of communal papers, which is kind of good, but then some kids might go like, oh no, I love that paper, I need to use it. So then you have that to deal with, but you can totally decide that. And really, any stencils you have work great. I think these, I don't know, I'm sure I ordered them on Amazon. Sometimes I order stencils from AliExpress, which is from China, and it's super cheap and economical, but look at that. I'm leaving that. I just like that dark colors that I'm getting today. So there's that. Ooh, this I think is like the oh, no it isn't. So you can do lots of cool things. You can make lots of beautiful papers. I'll post some awesome papers that I've made. And then you can do great mixed media work. You can use these as background collage. You can take all of these papers that have words on them. Nobody needs to see those words, or if they have pictures you don't really want kids to see, it doesn't matter because they're going to get all smeared anyway. So it doesn't matter if National Geographic is full of naked people. It's all fine. Really, it's all fine. It'll be fine. I say that now, but maybe don't use 1969 of the moon landing National Geographic. I kind of almost got in trouble because I asked my husband to bring me a National Geographic, and that's the only one he could find, and then he made me feel bad for thinking I was going to Citrasolv it, like I was really going to put it on eBay. Okay, so this kind of has naked people on it, but it's not even going to matter in 2 seconds. I'm going to squish that out. I'm going to find a different stamp here, or a different stencil. I know like reds are kind of hard to find in National Geographic. There's not always a lot of red. So if you find a paper that has red, that's kind of awesome. I have also been known to use like alcohol inks or Distress inks and just spritz it in there with the Citrasolv, and then just let that soak in. And then I can get some different colors that I don't normally find if I wanted, like a turquoise or reds or oranges or sometimes yellows. You can put any of those. Of course, they're going to mix with the ink, so you might get some of that color in there, but it is what it is. It's really, you just got to go with it and find your paper, what's calling to you. See, you can't even tell what that is. And sometimes they get really translucent. I'm also the prom sponsor, and I tell you that because I get a ton of prom catalogs. And I have found, I'm gonna grab some prom catalogs, that some of these, like, you can spray them. This one didn't work super great, but they work pretty good, and it's super thin paper. It gets almost translucent. I've tried high-end, this is like a high-end calendar, and it was marginal. The cover of this one didn't do anything, like nothing pretty much, so don't waste your Citrasolv on that. But the inside, I mean, I did get some movement on this. I'm trying to see if I can find the prom catalog ones. But we got all this awesome paper. Look at these, they're just beautiful. That's just from pulling these apart the other day and saving them. Here's like some, even if it kind of gets distressed like that, you can use like some of the patterns in there. Some of them get really inky and really loose. So you just have to go with whatever. Okay, so that's one thing you can do with the Citrasolv paper is you can distress it with these stencils and get cool patterns on it and save it. The other thing you can do is you can, before you distress it, you can put it on these boards. And this is just like canvas board. So all you do is, before you Citrasolv anything, I'm going to take these gloves off because it's horrible for this. You're just going to get this is just a canvas board. Mod Podge. So here's like a pro tip. Well, I don't know if it's a pro tip, but it's a tip. Just if you do this to your, because especially with kids, they're going to gum up your brushes. If you dip your brush in a little bit of dish soap, just like with mastic or that liquid wax for when you're doing ceramics, if you dip it in there before you do your Mod Podge, it cleans up way easier. It doesn't need to be slopping with it, but it does need to have it in there. Well, you don't have to, but you can decide for yourself. Okay, so what I do is, for this, I just find magazines that have pages or colors maybe I kind of want to use. Oh, see, ooh, this is good. This has like some lobsters. That should be good. So, I don't know what this is, but I think it's like some animal thing. So that'll be really cool. I mean, I might lose all that. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to totally Citrasolv that page eventually. But that'll be amazing. So one day I'm going to do that. That's going to be super awesome. So for the Mod Podge, here's what you do. Usually I start by having these ripped up. And I make sure they're kind of probably a little bit longer than the edges. And you could Mod Podge these. You could collage these on here in any way. Oh, look at that. Any direction you want. I kind of just probably go one way or the other. And the key to this is not getting any Mod Podge, or you can do this with a gel medium too. Don't get any of this on the front of your National Geographic. So I'm just going to put this on here. And then I'm going to put my paper on here. And I'm going to let it hang over the edges because I want to wrap it or tuck it eventually. And then I'm just going to put another one. And if it's going to overlap right here, I know it's going to overlap right there. So I'm going to be okay with that. Like having a little bit of Mod Podge on it because it's going to get covered up. And then I just keep trying to make this smooth. I'm kind of a messy person, so keeping my fingers clean is kind of sometimes challenging in this process. And don't use like the whole page, like the same page over and over, or it's kind of pointless. I mean, well, I guess it would still work. It'd probably be fine. But you might end up having more of the picture show through than you really wanted to. If you do get some Mod Podge on it, just take your finger and wipe it off. Hopefully you have an apron on. So you just Mod Podge the whole entire thing. And I'm sorry I don't have one of these prepped for you, but you know, I'm not a professional filmer, and we tried and it's kind of been disastrous, so just go with this. So you covered this entire surface with this. Then you take your Mod Podge, or not your Mod Podge, your Citrasolv, and you're going to spray the whole entire thing. So spray, 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 pretty liberal. And then this is the part you need to have the saran wrap ready. You're going to take the saran wrap, and I think you can do it with cling wrap, but I kind of think part of the beauty of the saran wrap is that it gets all crinkly like this, and that you get the crinkly stuff in here. So you're going to put your Citrasolv on this, and you're going to let it set, and you're going to cover it with saran wrap pretty, not smoothly tight because you want it to have wrinkles in it. And then when you peel off your when you peel off your saran wrap, you get those cool lines in here. But now I'm thinking I could totally do this maybe with that bubble wrap and just let it dry on there. But you can also do the same technique with this board and let the Citrasolv sit on here, pull this off while there's still a lot of Citrasolv starting on there, and you can totally take a stencil and wipe off the parts that you don't want. And then you can use this. This is a great base for the back of your board. And right on this side, I've already started wrapping it around just for neatness. So that's a super easy thing. And then kids already have like a great background. So I could totally see a collage of an owl or a bird in the forest or lots of different things on here. And with some of these papers with blacks and stuff, that would be great. Feathers. I like this paper torn, but you can totally cut it. Sometimes I do cut it. So that is how you do Citrasolv paper. I'm going to attach to this maybe another video and some examples. And if you have any questions, email me. I'm glad you guys are all joining us for the Kansas Art Education Association virtual conference online. And hopefully next year we will see you in person. So best of luck. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll also attach my email. So, all right, thank you.